As gardeners, we generally recognise that St Patrick's Day is a traditional day for planting out our potatoes. Well, today's St George's Day, and we've still not got it in the ground. Let's get things moving. We left off in the last video where we'd replaced a couple of boards, one of them being the one on the right there. So this is destined to be the beds with the potatoes in. This one here will be Charlotte's, and the next two there will be the trusted old Sarpalmina. But first we need to clear the beds, and then I'll probably run the rotavator over the two and add a bit of manure as well. If there's ever in any doubt about the use of compost and manure on the beds, here's the proof of it. This is over a period of about 4 to 5 years, and as you can see, just running the rotavator over that there, it's a lovely crumbly black soil. Well, that's the first bed done. I might as well do the other two beds while I've got the rotavator out. For the eagle-eyed viewers of you out there who might have thought I've had a new rotavator, the Mantis there, this has been kindly loaned to me by one of the other plot holders. It saves getting mine out, which is all chained and locked up in my garage. I never leave it out on the plot. And they was doing a bit of rotavating and kindly said that I could use it for a day or two. Saved all the hassle of getting mine out. So the next plan is to get the other two beds done, and then we'll start getting the furrows in for the Charlottes. This looks a whole lot different than it did an hour ago. That's the first pass. I'll be working on this bed first to put the Charlottes in. I'll be putting 4 furrows in and then planting the tubers inside there. I'll be going onto a bed of well rotted manure out the bays, and also I might put a bit of 6X in. In the meantime, I'm going to have a bit of lunch. Well, the batteries have been recharged with a few whole grain rye vitas with some hammer, and also got some green olive stuffed with garlic. Hit the button. It's going to be cloudy now, so I'm going to crack on with what I need to do. Dig the furrows now. I don't know what filming I'll do because of the risk of taking my time and being interrupted by the rain. I'm going to crack on and probably show you when I'm almost there. As you can see, the quality of this stuff coming out now is good enough for potting compost. Very, very fine. I think the last few days we've had with the sunshine, a lot of us, myself included, have been led into a false sense of security, thinking that summer's here, but it's not exactly cold, but it's noticeably a massive drop into the temperature we had been having. Anyway, we've got to get on with gardening. This is the first tray of Charlotte tubers. They've chitted quite nicely. There's going to be 8 tubers in each row and 4 rows, and they'll be placed on the bed just in the back of the trough that I've just furrowed out. I'll put some rotted manure, that'll be placed on top. You may be able to see on the edge here I've got my little terracotta pot markers to give me an idea of the spacings, and these are just being pressed lightly into the rotted horse manure. I'm now just going to sprinkle some 6x manure across the top into the soil, which I'm going to drag in, and then into that I'll also be adding some well rotted horse manure, so it should have a good mixture there to get it going. So that's the first row done. Another 3 more to go, and I'll catch you when I've finished those. Well, that's the first potato bed complete. All I need to do now is top dress it with straw and manure. But I've got some rotted manure left in the barrow, and I thought rather than put it back in the bay, I'll just tittle it over the top of the asparagus bed. And while I was there, surprise, surprise, it's that's my first picking of asparagus for 2018, and there's plenty more by the look of it to come. To finish the bed off, I'll just top dress it with some stable manure in here. That'll do one or two things. First of all, it'll get a bit of protection should we have a light frost coming, and secondly, when it does rain, it'll wash the nutrients of the manure back into the soil for the potatoes to feed on. So that's the first bed done. We've got 2 solar power beds to do yet. I don't know whether they'll be done immediately or what, but we'll see what tomorrow brings. That's all for today, so I'll catch you tomorrow. You may recall a few episodes back when I planted up the tub with the lettuce I'd purchased from the garden centre. Well, that's how it's doing at the moment. I must say I'm quite happy with that one. Surprise, surprise, the last 2 days have been rain again, so unable to get on the plot, and the soil's really wet again. Don't think I'll be on today. We'd need at least another day to dry it out, so the onion bed didn't actually get finished. You can't really tell how far I've got except for the height. I was about halfway across the bed. I topped the centre up like a lasagna type thing with manure inside and put the soil back on the top. I think that'll turn out quite well. Let's have a quick look at the buckets of potatoes. As you can see, they've come on really well, considering how it was like when I fetched them out, spindly and pale. There's one here, I don't know if it's a rogue one or what, but if you look, the foliage is completely different, so well, that's a strange potato, I don't know, but the rest of them seem to be going on alright, and these are swift. A casualty I have had is the peas. I put these out to try and harden them off, but if you look along the back row here, there's quite a few missing, and I don't know whether the mice have been on there or what, but someone's definitely took them out, because that was a fairly thick row. If I get a chance today, I think I might put another couple of gutters in. Well, that's the middle bed finished now. Normally, when I grow potatoes, I grow them in rows like I have done on these. But what I do then is earth them up, and in the valleys which it creates, I then put this rotted or horse manure and straw. But because I run the rotavator along, it went down quite deep. It was at least 10-12 inches, and then I've used the bulb planter to sink that a little bit just to support the tuber. So it's quite a good depth, So in this case I won't be earthing them up, they'll just be left as is. That's why I've covered it completely in straw. There's this one still to do here, and this end's a bit low, so I'll bring the level up that with rotted horse manure out the bays, and then I'll also top dress that. Then all that's left, then I can carry on with the onion bed, weather permitting of course. Just as I put the last shovelful of manure on the top of the bed, then it starts to rain. Never mind. While I was cleaning the beds out, I dug these leeks up. Now I'd written these off last year because they got the fly in a lot of them, but I'd just left them in out of idleness. Anyway, I just dug them up and I got a bonus. I've caught a few with the tines of the fork, unfortunately, but you can see them are a decent. Some of these are a decent size. So by the time I've washed them thoroughly and skinned them a little bit, I've got a decent crop there. For those of you who like a treat at Christmas, now's the time to start looking. If you check around the garden centres, there's still the odd bag of first early potatoes knocking around. Even in the discount shops I've seen them. You only need about 6 or 8 tubers, and just check, as long as I've got no too long spruts on, pick a bag up, you'll get them next to nothing. What I'll do then, I'll take them home, put them in the fridge in the salad tray, in the clear plastic drawer. And what that does there, it tends to send them dormant, they just tick over. And come the end of July, August, I pop them in a bucket, top them up with soil and just leave them. On Christmas Day, you'll have a lovely crop.